Welcome to our podcast Capsule, a mini-series dedicated to empowering women in STEM. In this series, we are giving a platform to voices that share valuable perspective on how we can enhance our support for women in the industry. Enjoy the episode and welcome to the Brilliantly Branded podcast. Hello and welcome to Capsule. This is the mini-series by the Brilliantly Branded podcast when I am supporting and dedicating that to women in STEM. Women in STEM are women in science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. And that means that I want to generate more impact giving them a voice. Today I am in Brussels. I am in the Women in Tech Awards, and I am so honored to be here because I am giving this voice with the podcast to all those women that wanted to come and talk about their challenges and how they become a role models and inspiration for new generations. So let's go to see what happened with my guest today. Could you introduce yourself, please?
My name is Jan Demey. I'm the chairman and CEO of a group of healthcare consulting companies, where our mission is really globally improve healthcare systems from A to Z. And tonight I'm very glad, very humble to be the first man to participate to this fantastic podcast. So I hope my story can inspire you.
What did you find more interesting in the Women in Tech Awards today here in Brussels?
As an entrepreneur, one of the most interesting things is the energy and the perseverance to really go for their goal, their mission, and their ambition. This is, by the way, also why I have 80% of my people are women, because I know when they have to choose between to change or really to go for their mission and what they want to obtain in the world, they just go for it. And it was so nice to hear those stories where people go through a roller coaster of good days, bad days, that they stay with their mission. And also as an engineer and an ITer, the subject on technology is very close to my heart. And when I see when you talk about Bitcoins, when you talk about AI, when you talk about all those innovative technologies, and then when I bring it to our market being the healthcare, there's so much to do. So it was very inspiring for me.
How can we empower more women to go into tech?
I think it's. I just had a fantastic. His name is Alan, a fantastic guy who was also here, who gave me an explanation on. And gladly it's like that men and women are different, by the way. Right? So and we should not use this as an opposite, but we should use this to enforce the missions we go together for. And I am convinced that now I will have a lot of friends who will look me deep in the eyes, but that we have a role to play in that. We have a role to play that we have to see, or the men have to see their strength and their weaknesses or their challenges, and the women the same thing. And it's through that you can make a puzzle that completes the landscape. And I think by respecting, by understanding, by reflecting, but also by bringing the business world a little bit closer to the personal world, how you behave with your wife, how you behave with your daughter, how you behave with your mother, that this can have a link how you behave with the people in your company, the female colleagues in your company. And that cannot be different. Right? There should be some similarities. So take that into account when you're a leader or when you're a CEO of a company.
Who has inspired you in your journey?
I'm the son of a very special family of the 60s. So my mother wasn't, but they are both still alive, so I'm lucky. But my mother was in education and my father was a farmer. And my mother took care of children by growing them, and my father took care of animals. And what are two different living things? And where you say, look, I have to take care of life in the good and the bad, and to raise things and to change things, there this is a mission in your life. I mentioned the word change in my speech. So I think there I took the energy to step down from Deloitte as a partner and to really go for my own initiative, where I said healthcare is such a siloed activity. It touches everybody. It has an emotional and scientific side, an economic side, a medical side. We really have to make that better and sustainable for us, but also for our children and the generations behind. So that gave me a lot of energy. And just to show how change is difficult, I remember my mother, she was fantastic. In the primary school, she got one red dot from the inspection. That is, in the 80s, she got a computer. I gave my computer, I was 12 then, to her to make exercises for the students, and she got a red dot because you don't use computers in education. Okay. So when you see how things have evolved, change has to embrace. So this is why I took the energy, I think.
Would you like to send a message to her?
That's a tough one. First of all, I will have to show them because they are not so digital acquainted as we are. But yes, I want to thank them for the chances that I got from them. And my wife knows it, my kids know it, they're still my best friends.
Fantastic. That is so beautiful. Thank you very much.
I'm grateful by having you as a listener on this episode. I am in the mission of empowering thousands of women around the globe, and I need your support for that. Help me to spread the voice by sharing this episode and subscribe to our social media channels. And remember, if you want to listen to exceptional stories and have someone that inspires you, please get in touch with me because I will love to have them as a guest to learn from their experience and share their story with you next time. So until the next episode, ciao ciao.